All right, so I'm going to show how the transmitter is set up for the Mirasport. This is a standard Spektrum DX6, and it comes pre-programmed from the factory, but in case you lose the settings, I'm going to walk through how it's actually set up right now. So the first thing that I have to show you is how to set up and assign the channels. So scroll down in here to System Setup, and say yes, you're going to shut off the RF. Then you're going to scroll down to where you assign the channels. So it's a 6-channel receiver and 6-channel transmitter, and it normally has a throttle, aileron, elevator, rudder, landing gear, and an auxiliary channel. This switch D here is normally assigned to auxiliary 1. However, we need the output from this switch to be assigned to 2 channels on the receiver. So normally, you would see throttles assigned to throttle, aileron to aileron, elevator to elevator, rudder to rudder, and gear to gear. But in this case, we've changed it to auxiliary 1. So you can say gear, or in this case, we need it on auxiliary 1. So once that's assigned, go back to your main list, scroll all the way to the top, go back to the main screen. Then we have to do the servo setup. So now remember, we have the auxiliary channel going to 2 outputs on the receiver. So the first thing we want to do is make sure that you have the directions assigned correctly. So the way we have this here is throttle is in the down position, aileron's down, elevator is up, rudder is down, auxiliary 1 is up, and the second auxiliary 1 is down. So these defaults will work with this transmitter and the standard configuration of the servos from the factory. If you have to reverse something, we also will be making a video for how to reverse a channel if you need to. Then back under servo setup, you need to set the sub-trims. So in this particular case, this tells the servo where the middle is. And in our particular case, on auxiliary 1, we have it set to -155. So you can scroll basically forward or backward, but for this setup, -155 works pretty well. Then back under servo setup, we need to set up the travels. So for all the other channels, we have the standard 100 to 100 range of servo travel setup. For auxiliary 1, however, we have it set up to, in one direction, it only goes to 45, and in the other direction, it goes all the way to 150, so the maximum. And basically what this does is it allows you to have a relatively small forward tilt when you're accelerating into forward flight, and then to go into full forward flight, basically moving all the motors so they point straight forward. And that's about it for setting up the transmitter for a Mirasport.